Yeah, the easy glows, dog.
Hey, what's up?
Hey guys, it is Make It Make Sense Mary here with Khari. We are at Stop Playing Studios. How you doing today?
I'm doing just fine. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's been a long day, but I feel good. How's your day been? What you got going on?
Man, today we just woke up instantly grinding, trying to make a new life, do whatever we can to get to the top. Simple as that.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. So tell us a little bit about yourself. So I know that I've met you before. I know that you've recorded here at Stop Playing Studios. And I know that you got some big things going on. You're, very creative. So tell us a little bit about yourself and, what you got going on right now with your music.
I'm Khari. I'm 16. I'm from the west side of Chicago. Right now, I own two businesses. I own one clothing line and a business of social reform. Mm-hmm. We prioritize our whole agenda around mental health.
Nice.
And getting people out of the homeless, stopping gun violence, and doing whatever we can to spread positivity in the world because we're so negatively driven.
Oh yeah. That's what's up. So this damn mic. Gosh. All right. So two things. So one, he said he's 16, owns two businesses. Just let that sink in real quick. Right there tells you can do anything that you want to do. It don't matter how old you are when you get started, make it happen. Yeah. And then as you guys know, Make It Make Sense Mary, I always talk about mental health. So that's very important. So typically I would talk about that a little bit towards the end, but you kind of opened the door. So let's talk about it. So mental health is one of those things, especially with men,
yes.
That's very it can be uncomfortable to talk about. You feel like you just want to keep everything inside, or as a guy, it's like you just got to suck it up and tough it up and, whatever. But that's not the case. We all have to have some sort of outlet. We have to have somebody to be able to talk to or something to do when, life is happening. So when things get kind of crazy and you're feeling a little down or whatever the case may be, how do you cope? And tell us how you feel about just mental health overall.
Well, for me, mental health I feel like it should be more or on the same level as importance in school as actual academics, because we don't realize how much people go through on a day-to-day basis. Where I'm from in Chicago, it's crazy because you got to deal with so much at the same time. Mm-hmm. You got to deal with the police on your ass wherever you go, your best friend dying, your mama not being able to pay for this and that, all of this stuff. So, that mental health and that self-drive is just not there whenever you think about it. And if you get too trapped in your thoughts, I feel like I can do more damage than a gunshot can do.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. And the thing is, you said when you get trapped in your thoughts, I always tell people it's like you have a little teeny version of yourself just dancing in your head. You know what I mean? And that's when you start to overthink things or doubt yourself or just put so much pressure on yourself, like you said. And, sometimes you just got to kick back and, kind of figure out what works with you or what works for you and how to deal with that. And it's a lot of the time, like I said, we just kind of want to suppress things and not talk about it or whatever. But especially people like you at 16, to say something like that is a big deal. And that's going to make a lot more people feel more comfortable, talking about things. So that's awesome. Awesome. So have you done any live performances before?
Well, I've been on stage a lot of times. I've been on stage with my man Helgi down at the Paper Tiger downtown and stuff like that. And I'm still trying to do more shows right now. That's one of my main focuses with me and my group.
Awesome. Awesome. That's what's up. So being on stage with other people. So I know you're looking for shows and they're going to come and we can totally help you with that too, of course. Amen. But being on stage, just with your people, how did that feel?
Amazing. Because me, I feel like I'm a people person. When I get to interact with the crowd, get everybody jumping, see the smiles on everybody's faces, it makes me feel so much better. It makes me actually want to keep going. So it pushes me, and I just love it. Being on stage is me.
Yeah, for sure. So let me ask you this. This is funny because I feel like a lot of us talk about this, and I'll tell you why after you answer. So do you consider yourself a people person in general?
Yes.
You feel like you're a social butterfly? You like people? You enjoy entertaining people? Or how do you feel about that?
I most definitely think I'm a people person. Ever since I was a kid, I felt like my main purpose that God put me on this earth for was to make people laugh, make people happy, brighten up their day. So that's honestly my main thought about getting into the business that I do, because I realize how much of an impact that my positive spirit anything has on other people. When I see the domino effect that it has when somebody one person happy, the whole group get happy.
Yeah,
and it makes me happy too. So it's like a help me help you kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't it crazy how when you are a positive person, you can literally just walk into a room and maybe the vibe is kind of man. But like you're doing you're laughing, and everybody starts laughing in the whole room. Like you can change the whole vibe, the whole mood. And we need people like you, because once again, we get in our heads sometimes, and we need that positive energy, and laughter is the best medicine.
Way too much.
So what are you working on? Do you plan on dropping some singles? Do you have any singles out? Like, are you tell us what's going on? Because we want to be able to see you. We want to know what's up and coming and what we can look for, or just kind of like, what's your plan? You're 16. You have nothing but time, and you're already, kicking it off strong. So.
Yeah. Okay, so right now I have an album coming out. Well, my album, I have another album because I already have 3 out right now. Mm-hmm. I just recently dropped a gospel EP called My Revelation. Mm-hmm. And I'm this next album is going to be prioritized around mental health. Actually, the title of it is called "Diary of a Broken Soul," mm-hmm. and it's like the journey all the way through healing, mm-hmm. pretty much. You go from being broken all the way down to okay, I made it. I finally can do what I want to do. And also, I had this joint album coming out with my boy. Mm-hmm. So it was my day one called Next Generation. Since we're the next 2 rappers from out the shine, we mm-hmm. changing the narrative, doing our own little thing. We popping right now, so it's
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There are quite a few people. Actually, my very first interview that I did was with a few people that are all from Chicago. And like I said, I'm not from here either. I'm from Virginia. We're in San Antonio, but I've been here almost a year. How long have you been here?
About 2.5 years.
About 2.5 years. So we're still pretty fresh in
pretty
San Antonio.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so funny. I talked to so many different people, and everybody's so different, and depending on where everybody came from, right? So I always say that here in San Antonio, it's no comparison to Virginia. Where I grew up and where I, moved from and whatever. I really cannot find too much to compare San Antonio to. That's a good thing though. I like it here. It's refreshing. So how do you feel about that? From Chicago to here, and is it comparable at all?
It's, to me, I wouldn't say it's comparable, but I would say that it kind of coincides with each other. I say that because mm-hmm. of the talent that we have here and the opportunities that we have here are the same ones we have in Chicago. In Chicago, I feel like the opportunities and the talent and all the dreams are overshadowed because of the narrative that we have in our city. Mm-hmm. And out here, I feel like, anybody can do it. Texas love Texas.
Oh my God, Texas. I know, it's insane.
That's what I love. Right? Yeah, they love Texas. And, I see a lot of people with a lot of opportunities down here too. And I see a lot of people doing what they do. Mm-hmm. Stop playing studios, y'all doing your thing. And
yeah,
it is a breath. I can finally wake up. Don't got to worry about getting shot as soon as I walk out the door to go to school.
Real life.
And it's a blessing. I'm not allowed to be here. Even though as much, I miss Chicago because all of my family's still there. But, sometimes God puts you in these places for you to grow and elevate. And that's exactly what I needed. So this move I had was most definitely needed.
Absolutely. And I feel like everything happens for a reason. Like you said, God puts you in places and situations and through things and whatever that in that moment it's you just can't understand. You can't make it make sense. You know what I mean? But it's not meant to be made sense of in that moment. It's you just go with the flow, trust in God, have an open heart, open mind, and just know that it's happening for a reason, even if maybe you can't see it right in that moment. So you live with your mom here? You have any siblings or anything?
Well, I have 4 sisters, and I got, a couple unofficial brothers right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got 4 sisters. I'm the only boy, actually, of my family. Oh. And I'm the youngest too. Uh-huh. But it's pretty good because I come from a family of strong women. Women that ain't really had a man to stand by them through whatever they wanted to. People that built up from the bottom. I come from, right now my sister works for the federal government. Another one of my sisters, a 3-time bestseller author. And they are my biggest influence right now. The women in my life is my biggest influence and my biggest inspiration right now.
That's awesome. So, and I keep bringing up your age, but I mean, I'm 20 years older than you. So 16 and you doing what you're doing and having the mindset that you have is kind of mind blowing to me. It's a really good thing. So how do you, what you just said about your mom and your sisters and whatever, how does that make you look at life, at women, at, what you're doing differently because you grew up with these strong women?
Well, a lot of the stuff that I learned from the women in my family is really helping me become the man that I am today. Because, I understand how hard it is for a woman to raise a man in the eyes that they need to be. Mm-hmm. And to have them treat me the way that I'm treated right now or have me the world how I am right now is a blessing. And I love that. So everything that they do mm-hmm. is helping me help them back because I'm trying to help them out too. Because I'm gonna show the whole world that women can do anything. Like I'm real big behind women positivity because y'all are honestly a blessing to this earth.
I love it.
Simple as that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Do they support your music?
Of course. My sister, one of my biggest fans right now. Every morning she wake me up, listening to my music, you know what I'm saying, helping me out. My family, my entire family is just real big on me.
Yeah, very supportive. Like I know the first time I met you, and I met your mom too. She was like, "Wait a minute, what's going on? Hold on, I need to know what's happening before I'll just let you go in here." So, yeah, it seems like you probably have a great support team and a super strong unit, which is awesome. So you said one of your sisters works for the federal government, so we won't even go there. That's just me. We're not even gonna talk about the details, but right, right on. But with your other sister, you said she's a best-selling author. Tell us a little bit, like we want to know about her too.
Okay, her name is Khari Jordan. She's my sister from my dad. Actually, I have one sister from my mom and 3 from my dad.
Okay,
and she's one of my biggest helps too. She invested a lot of money into me. You know, she invests a lot of her time into me, and a lot of stuff around me to help me with my mindset too. You know, she gives me some of the greatest life lessons that I needed to know.
Yeah.
Especially being in this business right now, in this game with music and stuff, you know, people can mess you over. She helped me out. Even though she's not doing music, you know, as a businesswoman herself, she understands the ins and outs. So she helped me out with a lot of stuff, and I really love her.
Yeah.
Like, really love her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, other than being talented as an artist, like what do you think one of your like weirdest or funniest or like nobody would know about you talents is that has nothing to do with music? Or like a hobby or something, like something that you enjoy. Yeah.
I'm actually an actor too.
Okay.
Like I do a lot of stuff right now. Actually, I just got done with a major performance at school right now. We sold out all 4 shows.
Nice.
Did really good stuff. I've been wanting to be an actor since I was a little kid. Like before I've been doing music, acting was on my agenda. Because you know, going back to that, it ties in with my mom. Actually, I wanted to be an actor because of my mom. Because my mom was always in and out of the hospital, like in and out, like every other weekend for like 6 years straight. And you know, every day when we had time to ourselves, we had to sit on the bed, watch Disney Channel, watch Jesse, Dog with a Blog, stuff like that. So I told her, I'm like, you know what? While we sitting here right now, I'm gonna be an actor. So whenever you in your hospital bed and I can't be there with you, you can always see me and I'll always be with you somehow. So that always sucks me. Ever since then, acting been one of my passions other than music. Making people laugh.
I was gonna say you've mentioned making people laugh, and that's something that me and you have in common. Like that's something that I like to do too. It does feel good. You know what I mean? It's like just to be yourself, be goofy, and just kind of lift people's spirits and get that laughter from people. Like it definitely feels good.
Yes,
For sure.
Definitely.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years.
What's your goals? You have 2 businesses already. You have tons of talent. 5 years, where are you at?
I would say a revolutionary in the name of Tupac. I see myself helping out different causes like homelessness, you know what I'm saying? Being a social image for everybody, inspiration for everybody, all the little boys and girls that don't know what they're doing, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of boys and girls are 16 that don't know where they're going with their life.
Right.
You know, in the next 5 years, I want to be that image and that inspiration for everybody, even people that's 50 years old to, you know, make a positive change in their life and do something that can actually help people, you know, be a revolutionary, be on top of the world. Yeah. But also, you know, not on top of the world as a dictator, but, you know, as something.
Right. Yeah, just an inspiration. Yeah, I totally get it. So you mentioned something too with the age. You said it doesn't matter whether you're 5 or 50 or whatever you said. So I feel like that's a big thing. Like I feel like us as people, tell me how you feel about this. I feel like us as people, you know, we tend to stay in our lane a lot. Like we tend to stay with our own culture. We tend to stay with our own age, our own this, our own that. Right. So I feel that it's important to know that even as a 16-year-old, you can inspire me. You can inspire a 50-year-old, an 80-year-old, you know, whatever the case may be, and vice versa. So I feel that it's important to talk to different people and, you know, kind of educate yourself on how other people think and what their thought process is and, you know, the just experience they have too with older people. So how do you feel about that?
I feel mainly is that us as humans, we have our own point of view in everything. The only reason why most people are not going out and inspiring people doing this is because they don't want to. Everybody has their own revelation, their own traumatic experiences that they can share with other people. Everybody got their own positive experiences or their own thoughts that they want to show other people, but they just choosing not to.
Right.
And I feel like that's our downfall. I feel like people stay in their lane too much, and to the point where our lane just automatically like goes off a bridge. And then, that causes a domino effect. Like because I believe that too, like when somebody's negative, they spread negativity.
They do.
And that's why I try to be positive as much as possible, because, after that goes so long, you'll end up destroying the whole city. Yeah. Destroying the whole world. And it's allowed to be lost just off of one thing. Yeah. So I feel like that's our fault, really. Yeah. And that's what.
So tell me this, because like I said, I feel like I can relate to you, as far as the positive energy, just liking to make people laugh and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, like we both have our days, right? Where it's just like you're kind of blah. And do you ever notice how like your energy can kind of bring people down too? Just like you said, like how you could just,
No, it's definitely. There's been plenty of times where I'm just, even when I go back home, I walk through the door from having a terrible day at school, not completing my goals in the studio, doing whatever it is, and I just come home pissed off. I'm just mad, just can't do nothing. I don't want to talk to nobody, shutting everybody out in the world. Right. And I realized how that makes other people feel too. Like, for example, it's been a time where I was at my sister's house. Shout out there to my sister. When I was at my sister's house and her boyfriend, they were talking to me about some stuff that I didn't necessarily agree with, and like that pissed me off, and I just kind of shut them out. So I realized for the rest of that day, as I was like in my own mind, my own mood or something like that, it was making them sad too, even though they were just trying to help me. And I'm just like, it's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening. A lot of yelling went on back and forth, a lot of crime, blah blah blah. Just for me acting the way that I did because of my thoughts, and I realized I was like, damn, I really got this impact really got this impact on people like that. So, after that, we just talked, made it up, and it was cool after that. Yeah, I was right back to how I was supposed to be.
Absolutely, and it's like that in a way is a learning experience for you too. You know what I mean? Like you were almost wasting all of your good energy on feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? You were like, sprinkling it on everybody else. Like, oh, wait a minute. Like, this is too much. Let me spin this around.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you a lot because we've talked a lot about mental health throughout the entire interview. And like I said, typically I wait till the end, but I really think that you have a good message. It seems like you have a good heart, like you're a genuine person. And I see you doing big things. I like your drive and I like your, the goals and everything that you have. So that's awesome. So with that being said, before we go, just give us a message to everybody that's going to watch this. Like, anything that you feel is impactful, for people your age, my age, whatever age, just people in general. So no, what you got?
Okay. Well, I would mainly say to y'all is keep going, because there's been plenty of times where I wanted to quit. There's been plenty of times when people told me to quit that I wasn't going nowhere. But like when you realize that you got to stop doing stuff for other people and start doing stuff for yourself, that's when real change will come. And if you really want to see a change in the world, make sure you go on and don't let nobody stop you. Because there's going to be people that don't got the same views as you, that don't believe in what you want to believe in. So what? Keep going. If you really believe in something, you feel you should put your all blood, sweat, and tears into that. And don't let nobody else do that. Because earlier I talked to my boy, Prodigy. He was telling me, hey, man, I'm quitting music. I'm like, why you quitting music? Oh, because my views ain't what they at. People telling me I don't hit right now. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, bro, fuck them. Honestly, bro. Do what you need to do, bro. When you realize that you're making music for yourself and not for other people, bro, you're going to start going somewhere. And then, also trust in God. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a real big religious person where I myself. I work in the youth ministry. I work in the teens ministry. I work in the choir, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Believe in God. God will take you where you need to go. He will give you the blessings that you want to do. If you talk to God, repent of your sins, He will accept you and then give you the life that you deserve. I made a mistake of me, like, straying away from God because, a whole bunch of stuff was bad happening in my life. But as soon as I gave up to Him and came back to Him, my life was perfect, and I could have asked for a better life. Yeah. Amen.
That's beautiful.
That's it.
Real shit. Like, you're really, you touch my heart right now, like I said. And just make sure to keep that strong mindset and keep your beliefs and hold on to them. And I feel that you will, regardless of what anybody says. Like you said, that was a really good message. And, yeah. Just hang on to that. Like, shoot, you've even inspired me. Prime example. Like, real life. It's beautiful. And, like you said, once you surrender and just have an open heart and open mind and have that faith and know that God is going to come through, and we all have our own beliefs. We all, you know, shoot, you hear us cussing right now or whatever, got a little bit of twisted tea in my mug. Like, God knows us. You know what I'm saying? And as long as we talk to him, and like you said, ask for forgiveness and, you know, just when you know better, do better. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's just always a growth process. Then that's where it's at. So good stuff. Good stuff. So tell us where we can find you. Where can we listen to your music? Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, like whatever you like. Tell us all. Yeah.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at _Real Khari. You can find me on all music platforms at GBL Khari. And you can look me up on Google at GBL Khari too, because I pop up. And you know, you can find me on any one of my pages, because I still on the group page, my group GBL. You know, shout out AJ, shout out ISO, shout out Sosa, shout out Stacks, shout out all the guys, man. I love y'all, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. And that's KHARI, by the way, just to be clear. Check this dude out. Like, follow, subscribe, do all this shit. Yes. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So before we go, I need you to stop playing. And I know, or you should know, that I'm MiMsM. And, you know, typically I have my little kitty ears, but I don't have them today. But before we go, I need you to just hit me with a meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Hey. That's what's up. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. And yeah, he's got some music to make. He's got a session right after this. This man does not stop. Grinding. Let's go.
GBL,
all right.
We're for a better life. FBE.
Hell yeah.
Before anything, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Peace for now.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Good stuff.